Tom James from VIP Stable here in Sorrento, Florida with trainer John Butenschoen. It's January 11th. We're just going to go over a quick review of the 3-year-olds that came down here to mature a little bit. And we'll kind of do them in alphabetical order. So if we're not on yours, just scroll forward if you don't want to look at these two pretty faces for 10 minutes here. John, why don't we start off with one horse that had his problems last year, kind of physically, but he's a good-looking horse and appears to have some ability, American Messenger.
Yeah, I thought enough of him training down. I mean, he's a colt. We trained him in around 2 minutes a half, 56 and change, 55 and change. Just was plagued with little nagging stuff all along.
Yeah.
We pursued a bunch of different avenues, and the most that we could come up with, the growth plates in his joints were still open, and that's painful. I mean, we were asking him to do more than what his body was physically capable of doing. The ability was there. He's physically capable of going the type of miles and what we need. He showed me, and that's why I held on to him. We couldn't find any defects or abnormalities on nuclear scintigraphy, which we ran on him. We did a fluoroscope on him. Everything looked normal. So for those reasons, and just the fact that it's a maturity issue, we decided to bring him back. And knock on wood, so far, we haven't got to a level to where we're really stressing him. We've been between 235 and 240 with him, but he's doing good. Any of the signs of stuff that he showed us last year are all gone. So hopefully he'll keep coming forward here, and expect him to have a good run this summer.
Yeah, you had him at 238 yesterday, I think, and we took some of the horses out, took some photos and videos of him a little bit close up, and he's a nice looking animal, so he probably has a right to be any kind if he can, stay sound. One horse that did have a nice little year for us last year, the filly Maritime.
Yeah, well, we addressed a few issues. We got into the middle part of the summer there, and she would put in a step here or there, and started looking at some things, and we found where she had a little bit of some calcifications. I could call them chips, could call them OCDs, one in the front ankle and a hind ankle. We injected them, we got her through a couple races, but then the risk reward was just enough that, we decided to shut her down and address that problem when we came down here. She's had a couple months out in the field, she's back training, and everything is a go here right now. So, hopefully same thing with American Messenger. She was a little on the smaller side, showed a lot of talent, and was able to overcome, some physical problems there as far as little minor aches and pains. So I think you're not as young and you're a little more mature, but you experienced that yesterday. And
John's referring to a half marathon I ran yesterday, which I needed a little vet work when we were done.
It just takes time.
I tied up, etc.
We're not going to throw you out, so we're not going to throw her out. We're going to keep you both around. You'll have a good year, she'll have a good year, and then everybody will be happy.
I'm a lot cheaper to keep, though. I don't know.
We'll talk to Patty.
No. One horse that's really new to VIP, but certainly not new to you, Dragon Eddie.
Yeah, very nice colt last year. He's an extremely quick horse. Come right out, just guns a-blazing last year. Him and Tommy Terror, I couldn't have separated them out. As the year went on, I think a little bit of difference in how they ended up their year was their physical stature. And Dragon Eddie, we quit with him a little bit sooner, and he's grown up, filled out. He's a bigger, better, stronger version of himself than what he was last year. Tommy Terror has done the same thing too. But I think we're in good shape here, and I think whoever put the faith in him and invested with you, we should have a good run with it. The Dragon Agains, generally tend to improve as they get older, and that's exactly what we're looking for with this horse.
Okay. One horse that's not here and it's injured is Explosive Drama.
Yeah, was encouraged on how the coffin bone is healing. Just had him radiographed this past week here 4 or 5 days ago. We're going to wait till the end of the month, still keep him on stall rest here for the next 3-4 weeks. Maybe even 2 to 3 weeks now. The week has elapsed already. We'll pull the shoe and x-ray him without the shoe on. If everything looks good, starting the month of February, we can probably put him in the swimming pool for a month. 1st of March, we can evaluate and re-radiograph if the foot, everything looks good. We can start him on the racetrack. And then it'll just be a matter of, where we go from there, how long it'll take to get him back. And, keep our fingers crossed. And obviously a very talented horse and a very devastating injury as far as mentally to everybody that's involved, myself included. But,
it's hard out of you sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, that's part of the business. And
No doubt about it.
Something hopefully the we can put behind us, and we can move on. And the horse can do the same things.
Yep. Um, the Indiana trotter, Just for Victory, started
Yeah.
showing some talent last year.
He showed talent all along. He's the horse that another one that was just kind of, he's a little immature, immature mentally, immature physically. Reminded me a lot of the Victor when we had him as a 2-year-old. And they kind of did similar things as we got the trot and hobbles on them and got their minds focused, and got later into the year they got the trotting along. And there were times when he come out of a hole there in Indiana, he would just explode. So we're giving him the time that's required, bringing them back. The Indiana program's a nice, solid program. Look to see when the stakes start up there. We'll either send them up and get them qualified up there, or get them qualified here. If the stakes haven't started, we can, we got options. We can send them right out to Indiana, back to Irv, and have him go with them out there. Or we can race them a time or two, Poconos, make sure that everything's good before we send them forward.
Okay.
Excuse me. Looking to, have a solid year with him.
Yep. One of our horses, I think, might have a shot at a decent year. Is going to actually come back as a maiden. Is Penny for Your Thoughts?
Yeah. Horse showed a lot of talent, a lot of speed right off the get-go. Training down, he showed all of that as well. He win his first qualifier. And then he just kind of ran into some snags, put up some in-the-money finishes there for us, but wasn't able to, finish off the miles like Tommy Terror and Dragon Eddie and some of them were. I was a little disappointed in that because he trained down with him, but the faster we go and the further we go with them as 2-year-olds, the more we separate them out, either by ability-wise or maturity-wise, or the ones that stay healthier or sounder. No major issues, nothing with him. Just hoping for another horse that can come back bigger, stronger, better version of himself. And we get to start him out as a maiden. In the Pennsylvania maidens, the purse structure, knock on wood, would remain the same. And he's a horse that can be a solid racehorse and hopefully be a stallion series, if not a possible sire stake horse.
Okay, he trained in around 238 this weekend. Big trotting colt, Strategic Alliance.
Yeah, another one. I mean, he showed me enough talent there last year that we brought him back. Had some soreness in his knees, some soreness in his stifles, and just a big growthy colt. He was making breaks. We put some trot and hobbles on him, and just a couple things. Mind wouldn't focus, and sometimes their mind won't focus when they're not 100%. I can't say lame when they're not when they're just going through some aches and pains. It'd be like you wearing 2 different type of shoes, a tennis shoe and maybe a work boot. When you go to run, you're going to change, and that's kind of what they go through if they get a little bit sore. They become unequal. They don't travel the same, and that's kind of where we were at with him. We elected to stop with him. Then it was debated: do we bring him back or not bring him back? But he gets to come back as a non-winners of 2, a big, strong colt, well-bred colt, and if he can come back, throw up some solid races, there's always a market for a horse like that too. So
I
we can. I think we're in good shape.
Another trotter, filly trotter, who has a lot of speed, maybe a little crazy. Sugar and Cream.
Psycho bitch from hell. Right now she's good. I've got her nice and calm and relaxed. We've messed around with the idea of maybe throwing a saddle on. Just change her routine. Throw a saddle on her. Let's try some alternate forms of training her. And the big thing is, I think we can come down here and we can accomplish all them goals. She's just faster than any of the trotters that we had down here, and we had some success with these 2-year-old trotters last year, and her mind just become.
But you got to give a horse with that much talent a second chance.
Exactly.
You just have
so
to.
we'll get her back to the races, and hopefully when she gets up there and gets around the environment of the horses at the racetrack, we'll have come up with a few ideas that we can work on and get her focused and have her going the way she needs to go.
I hear you.
She can really go.
Speaking of another one who can go, Tommy Terror.
Yep, there ain't much a person can say there. As Bill Wiswell was down here and we talked, maybe we should have quit with him even before we sent him up to Vernon. We kept him around, gave him some time, but hindsight's 20/20. We came first up on a bad night at Dover, and then he just kind of went through the motions maybe a little bit there. Was he a little tired? Was he a little flat? Did we give him too much time? Did we not give him enough time?
And he didn't get much luck in the breeders either, and that the horse breaking on him.
The final there didn't work to the way we would like to see it.
But certainly a talented horse.
Yeah, and he come back fine. I mean, we sure didn't hurt him. The season ended a little disappointing after his first 10 starts not being worse than second in any of them, and pacing and winning in 50. So you'd expect him to, come back, have a
And he's filling out a little bit, it looks like to me. Looks like, as your wife pointed out, his butt's getting a little bit bigger. He's starting to fill out a little bit.
nice way to say it.
Well, he's getting a little bit bigger, and that's, I guess, one of the reasons we bring him on down here. I got to segue to Jackie's right behind the camera, smiling. So, John, I guess that's about it. So far, so good with most of them down here.
Yeah, but I don't,
Everybody's rested and ready to roll.
There's a couple up in Jersey. We got the 4-year-old Kings Barnes.
Yep.
Last night had a this horse has come back twice from injuries, and unfortunately, this time of the year with not many racetracks going, we're not able to get them started on a regular basis. Then you throw the 10-hole against them and parked a mile. It's kind of hard to judge, but the horse is sound. Everything seems good with the problems
He's
that
got
we've
some
had.
ability.
He's got ability, and now it's a matter of finding the right spot and stuff for him. And then the new acquisition, he got another bad trip, but if you look at his chart,
Tink and Tiger,
he raced real well. So pace 51, home 27-1, which is fastest last quarter in the race, and he just never had a shot to race. So on both of them that are up there, we'll see what we have.
And of course, Valley of Sin is still trying to work his way back. And we got a little bit of promising news on him the other day concerning his issue with suspensory, and give him a little bit more time, and hopefully we get a good racehorse coming.
Cautious optimism.
Keep our fingers crossed, and you never know. It's not over yet. The Fat Lady hasn't sung yet concerning him, so we'll keep our fingers crossed there. John, that's about it. Maybe we'll go out to the lake and relax a little bit now, and have something to drink. No?
Cool.
Guys, you got to really come on down here. It's January. It's 70 degrees outside. You can go see the horses. You can go to Disney. You can go do so much. Hopefully you come down February 28th for VIP weekend. Even if it rains, there's still plenty of things to do down here. And just to take advantage of the fact that you're involved with horse racing and enjoy the other things around the game, not just going to the races and watching them race. Come on down, see them train, talk to the groom, talk to John. It's a lot of fun. I think the members who come down here really enjoy themselves. So we hope to see you down there.
We got golf nearby. We've got fishing on the
There's a golf course right over there.
We got fishing on the Gulf of Mexico, and we got fishing out on the Atlantic Ocean. We got Daytona Speed Week with all the car racing. We've got Daytona Bike Week. If you got your Harleys, come on down. You want to go to some nice restaurants, there's nice restaurants. There's all the attractions in Disney. I tend to be a little friendlier down here than I am in the summertime, so in case if I scare anybody, come on down here when I'm in a little bit better mood and not pressured on racing. And anybody, like Thomas said, anybody has any questions for me, you can contact me via email or through Tom, or what, and we'll try and answer things and try and set up some stuff here, how we can answer questions or be more specific, or spend some one-on-one time with the horses and or me, or questions or whatever. But this is the time to do it right now.
Yeah.
And I know we're Florida and everybody's off in other places, and it's easier and I'm more accessible as far as finding me in Pennsylvania. But it's busy, unfortunately.
It is. If you go to the barn in Pennsylvania, you can see actually on a morning how busy it is, and you actually appreciate what goes on behind the scenes with horse racing. It's just not they go out and race and that's the end of it. There's a lot of preparation that gets done ahead of time, and I think you actually have more of an appreciation for the game once you see that in action. Believe me, when the horses don't race well, there's nobody more upset than the trainers and the grooms involved, because they put their heart and soul into doing all this. It's a lot of work.
Enjoy it. If you own a horse, and enjoy it. So come down here, and you want to try and sit behind one, you can ride along the side, or we can hand the lines over to you and get a chance to do it. If you want to pet them, you want to brush them up, you want to watch them run in the field. I mean, we can turn them out for you. We can give you a brush. I can give you a pitchfork, and you can clean all the horse manure you want. I mean, you can be involved what you want. You want treats, we can feed them treats. You want to take the trainer to dinner, we can take the trainer to dinner.
And you don't have to come down here just on VIP days. I mean, if you happen to have a vacation scheduled, come down, make sure you come to Sorrento, the Southern Oaks Training Center, and visit John. See your horses, and even if you don't have any horses down here, come on over and see the place. It's really, you really enjoy just coming on over for a few hours. You'll just enjoy it. John, we'll do this again next month, at the end of next month, and we'll see where we are. All right, appreciate your time. This is Tom James for VIP Stable. See you next time.